Welcome to the Wolfchase Toyota Insider, the Memphis Tiger Network. I'm Jeff Brightwell alongside head coach Daron Schoenrock, and coach able to get 3 games in over the weekend. And right now, for anyone, I guess, east of the Rocky Mountains in the Midwest or the South or the Southeast, that's an accomplishment just to get to play 3 games in a weekend.
You know, in my 30 years of coaching college baseball, this is the hardest I've ever had to work to get 7 games in. And you know, we got a lot of back-to-back nights, you know, scheduled the second half of the season. But it's good to get 3 in. You know, I still don't like doubleheaders. I think doubleheaders are, you know, they're a necessity in our game, even at the professional level. You see them, but it does take somewhat. It takes a little bit away from rewarding what should be an advantage to a team. You know, I think it rewards an inferior team. Not saying that, you know, who knows who's inferior to who this time of year, but it creates a little bit more parity. Doubleheaders do. A
lot of them are split, and you split the one on Saturday. You got the home run from Tucker Tubbs to win the first one, an extra inning game, and when you know it, you schedule the doubleheader and have to play a little extra baseball that day.
Yeah, have to play a little extra. So, you know, and Tucker's been swinging it very well since day one of the fall. He came back this year with a little different mindset. Physically, he's in the best shape he's ever been in here, and he's the strongest he's been here, and he's moving the best. So it's a combination of you're seeing a lot of at bats, you know, through some times that were difficult. He was overmatched. Some as a freshman, we kept playing him. Now you're seeing the fruits of what that does. You know, he got a lot of experience, and he's an RBI guy that we're trying to get to now in all moments.
Come through the next game, a 3-2 loss, a 1-run game to St. Louis. So it's set up for Sunday for the rubber match. Had about an hour and a half delay, and you guys decided, look, when we pull the tarp, we're playing. We're going to get as much as we can in. We're not going to bring the tarp on. You got 7 innings in, a nice 5-2 win. Really the key inning, the bottom of the 6th inning, I believe it was, when St. Louis loaded the bases with nobody outs, and they had already hit 1 home run in a day that I didn't think the ball would carry, and they were threatening. But you got out of that inning without giving up a run. They ended up having to call it going into the bottom of the 7th. But St. Louis had their opportunity. It's just kind of the breaks when you have to play in those conditions. But it was nice for you. Come away with the series win.
You know, that was a big series win. I think St. Louis, when the dust settles at the end of the year, they're going to be right in the thick of the race in the A-10 if they don't win it. I mean, you know, they've got some key people back in the lineup, some guys that are tough to pitch to. They got enough on the mound, so that's a good series win. And it was good to get Ryan Garner back in the game, you know, and it was a tough circumstance. You know, Connor Alexander pitched great. His first start as a freshman, the conditions he had to pitch in, the nerves, you know, as a first start as a freshman, I thought he handled it great. You saw glimpses of what he's going to be, and that was a tough day to play, Jeff. You know, Brandon Montgomery made some athletic plays in the middle of the field. Jake Overbay makes a diving play. That's a tough game to do anything extraordinary. You just try to function, you know, in the field conditions you're playing on, the weather you're playing in, and thought we had some guys really with some individual performances in some small moments that were very big.
You know, one of the big question marks coming into the season was going to be your infield and your infield defense, because you're so used to seeing Drew over at third, of course the Iron Man, Ethan Gross at short. Zach Willis was a regular for 2.5 seasons once he got into the lineup, but defensively, with Montgomery, Overby, and Schreithoff, for what I've seen this year, they've played outstanding defense. It looks pretty seamless right now.
We're going to be fine there, and I kind of got that feeling as the fall went on. I wasn't sure going in the fall, but the more I saw Jake function at short, doesn't have quite as much domination of just the routine as Ethan, but I think we'll have the chance with Brandon's arm strength at second to turn more double plays than we have in the past, and we're getting a little bit more range out of that spot now. So those are very, very positive things for our pitching staff to say, hey, I just got to make sure they put balls in play. I got a defense behind me. We stress defense a lot here, and that's really the more games are lost defensively than are won offensively.
Right.
So, but it was good to get that series win against what we feel like will be a fine opponent down the stretch, and now we look to move on.
Kane Barrow swinging the bat well. He was a home run shy of the cycle on Sunday. He got that triple out of the way real quick. That's the hardest one to get in the cycle, and got that. And it's really hard to get it at FedEx Park because it's a small yard. But boy, he is after struggling that first weekend at Oral Roberts, he's been on a tear.
He has, you know, and he kind of tried to get outside of himself a little bit at Oral Roberts, and you know we talked to him. Kane threw some numbers on the board last year, but you really didn't see last year the kind of hitter Kane can be. We're seeing more now of what you thought you were going to see. You know, being the Tennessee Junior College Player of the Year. It takes a year for transition from to just a difference in the game at this level, and Kane's benefited from a lot of hard work, and you know, I think the presence of Tucker behind him is helping now, which, you know, in the past Tucker hasn't been who he is now, and now if we can get some production from the 2-hole and keep, you know, we got a chance to put a lineup together that's going to be really solid. We've got to get Jake Little back healthy and got to get Nate Rupiper back healthy too. Two upperclassmen that we were counting on heavily. But when those guys get back, the lineup's going to click. All
right, well, Coach, midweek, you're scheduled to try to play a game Wednesday at Belmont. Obviously, we all know the Winter Storm warnings in Memphis and Nashville. Just check GoTigersGo.com, the Memphis baseball, Twitter, Facebook, all the social media. Obviously, nothing official, but it doesn't look really good to get that game in right now.
We'll keep, you know, we'll keep. They have turf field, which still gives you a chance. But you'll also got to consider travel, safety, and so, you know, there'll be some announcements about that soon. We've found makeup dates for a lot of stuff we're gonna miss. Right now, just with talks I've had with coaches and preliminary dates, we still have 56 games on the schedule, and the more will come out with that on that soon. We'll start announcing some dates, and you know, keep changing them as we go. Keep trying to get our 56 in. It's really strange, you know, that it hurts the continuity of a hitting lineup.
Yeah.
And so I don't think we've seen the value of the veteran lineup that we have yet. That should rear its head in April when we're playing 5 days a week. Your hitters get into a roll and get going. I feel like this team is built to handle that.
And one thing that I guess is good for you, and I talked to Natalie Poole for softball about this, is it's not just Memphis in the Mid-South. Everyone in college baseball, it seems like, in the Southeast, the North, and the Midwest has to deal with it. So it's not like you're the only team that's going to play a lot of midweek games probably later in the season. Everyone is going to be in the same boat.
Yeah, and you'll see us, you know, one thing people are trying to do is double up and play some 4-game weekends for non-conference weekends. We've got a few of those left, so we're all in the same boat. And the neat thing I've told our team is it's going to give young pitching a chance to play. You know, we're not going to be able to redshirt any pitchers. They're all got to get ready to go.
Coach, this weekend you have Sanford coming into town. Looks like the weather will cooperate. It's going to be cold, but doesn't look like any rain this weekend. And now you're going to flip to your regular weekend times you'll see in conference, 6:30 Friday, 2 o'clock Saturday, 1 o'clock on Sunday. So now you're really going to start to get into this weekend routine.
Yeah, and you know, and then we're looking at some temperatures Friday that may force that time to change.
Yeah.
So I'm anxious to get into a conference mode where we, you know, you get into that routine, and this was going to be the first weekend we attempt to do that. So Sanford will be a quality opponent. You know, we saw down there last year. They swing the bat. They'll pitch. They played a tough series this past weekend. Lost to Arizona and Mississippi State, but you know, they played a quality schedule, and they'll be a well-coached team. I'm looking forward to seeing Casey's club come up here.
All right, well, Coach, we'll see you out there this weekend.
Thanks, Jeff.
That is head coach Daron Schoenrock. I'm Jeff Brightwell with the Wolfchase Toyota Insider on the Memphis Tiger Network.